Hello, Celebration Church. I wanted to take a few minutes of your time to announce our plans moving forward. As we have throughout this whole time, we have put your safety first. We have thought through the best way to get back to having service inside our facilities as safely as possible. You may have heard of other churches already beginning to have services in their facilities, and while we support and pray for them, we feel that we need to be deliberate. Because we made quick and effective plans at the beginning of this ordeal, it afforded us the opportunity to not have to rush into any decision now. Our goal is not to be first, our goal is to be right. Moving forward, we feel that it is best to parallel the phases that our state is utilizing. Phase 1 for our state began on May 4th. While there are conflicting opinions as to what that exactly means for churches, we have made the decision to enhance our drive-in service. Beginning this Sunday, we will be transitioning to having an outdoor service. This means that you can bring your lawn chairs and or your canopies, but you need to practice social distancing. We will continue to give you the option of staying in your car. We will be broadcasting over our FM channel, as well as setting up speakers for those who wish to sit outside. In addition to our drive-in service, we will continue to offer an online experience. In fact, we are looking for better options to offer more opportunities to connect online. Through this season in the life of our church, we have come to realize the importance of online ministry. Our online ministry is here to stay. For those of you who have been blessed by these services, know that we will continue them even after we are back in our facilities. We have become a digital church with a physical location. We've been offering options now for 8 weeks of drive-in church as well as online services. I want to thank everyone who has helped us make these offerings effective. They worked incredible hours in order to make our services engaging, exciting, and smooth. And I want to thank you. You've been faithful to attend, invite, and to give. Your flexibility is very much appreciated. Our church family has remained strong, outward focused, and caring. I'm proud of you for fighting off selfishness, frustration, and fear. We've learned a lot through this. I pray that we never again take meeting together for granted. For many of you, this has been an opportunity to recalibrate priorities and schedules. His kingdom first must be our life approach. The lessons of this season will be lasting. Now, as we move into phase 1 of the reopening process, this phase is going to require a lot of patience, flexibility, and a willingness to sacrifice for others. We will be posting and continuing to update on the front page of our website and on our church Facebook page. There's a link to all the details necessary for us to reopen safely. There's no way I can share all of them in one video, but I want to highlight several of them. Phase 1, Step 2. Our goal is to relaunch our church in our facilities on Sunday, May 31st. That is a perfect day, being that it is Pentecost Sunday, which is the relaunching of the New Testament church. We'll be offering 2 services, one at 9 a.m. for seniors and those who are higher risk, and at 10:30 we'll have a family service. Our sanctuary will be reset to allow for social distancing. We'll measure and observe the federal standards of 6 feet between family units. Our seating will look very different during this first step back. We appreciate your flexibility. When we move into our second step, which will be having services inside our facilities, we will have main services only. There will be no kids ministry activities, nursery, or childcare. Wednesday night activities and small groups will not meet in person. We will fully anticipate all these being restored sometime shortly after the state's phase 2. Please know that our timelines and plans, which as you know are unpredictable, may and probably will change as we move forward. Practically, this means your kids are sitting with you in service. Don't stress. I understand that there will be more noise and activity. We'll be okay. You will need to wait in your car approximately 15 minutes before service. When the sanctuary has been cleared and disinfected, you will be invited to enter. When you enter the building, you'll be directed to a seating area for your family. We will sit people from the front of the room to the back of the room. After service, we will dismiss people to ensure a quick, safe exit. I know you have a place where you always sit. This is going to be a good opportunity for you to practice flexibility. And you might enjoy experiencing service from a different point of view. We have a number of safety measures that will be in place per our agreement with the state of Florida. Please know, these are not done as the result of fear. Instead, we are doing everything we know to protect the most vulnerable among us and to prevent transmission of the COVID-19 virus. Our motivation is not fear, but love for others in our church family. I want to share with you 8 of these steps. Number 1, to help prevent the spread of infection, we are recommending everyone to wear a face mask. Infants and toddlers will not be required to wear a mask. If you have a health condition that makes it impossible for you to wear a mask or you choose not to, we understand. Number 2, common areas and gathering spaces of the building will be closed. That includes the coffee bar and any place where people might congregate. Number 3, before every service, the sanctuary seating and all high-touch surfaces will be disinfected. We will only allow people in the room after that procedure is complete. Number 4, hand sanitizing stations are set up throughout the building. We encourage their frequent use. Number 5, if you need to sneeze or cough, please cover your mouth and nose or sneeze into your elbow. Number 6, we will be continually wiping down surfaces in the restrooms and other high-touch areas. Number 7, we will not distribute any bulletins or printed materials. Offering envelopes will be available. However, there will only be one in each of the envelope holders. Number 8, we will not shake hands, hug, or high five. Instead, we will air hug, wave, and smile. Finally, if you prefer to stay home, we bless you to stay home and continue watching online. We love you and we want you to stay healthy. There's a lot of tension in our country. Some want to open, others passionately believe everything should stay closed. Here's how we're going to approach it. We will respect the thoughts and preferences of others and not make anyone feel lesser or non-spiritual because they have a different approach. Listen to me. Attending in person is not a sign that you are more mature, more godly, or more committed than the person who chooses to stay at home. Staying at home does not make you smarter or more caring than the person who attends in person. You've done a beautiful job of loving and caring for others the last 8 weeks. Let's keep that same attitude of love and concern as we transition into another new way of doing church. We're not going to be the social distancing police. We'll post the guidelines, communicate them often, and encourage you to follow them. However, we're not going to walk around with a giant ruler to make sure you're 6 feet away from others. I'm asking you to follow the guidelines out of love for each other. Like you, I can't wait for us to be back together with no restrictions. I can't wait to hug you and love on you. Many of these things feel like a hassle and extra work because, well, they are. But this is just a phase. It is going to get better. I look forward to worshiping with you soon. I would love to see you at our outdoor service this Sunday. It is Mother's Day, and we have a wonderful service planned both at our drive-in outdoor service and for our online service. In the meantime, I love and I miss you. Remember that while we're apart physically, we need to stay connected.